Hello and welcome back to another episode from Driving Britain. Today we're going to be looking at what the Germans think about the British. So when we think of the Germans, then we think of the car industry and Volkswagen and efficiency and things like that. But other than that, I don't really think of any real differences between British and Germans. I think we're all kind of pretty similar. Well, I thought we were, but I don't know. I guess we're going to get the kind of more obvious stereotypes. British with the tea and our two taps in kitchens and stuff like that, but other than that, I'm not really sure. What do the Germans think about the British? This could be quite a good one. Let's have a look.
I think that the British are so good in drinking beer, and they have a lot of good beer. I think much better than in Germany.
We'll go straight for the beer. Straight away we're going for the beer, and he says that British beer is better than German beer. He does know that this is going to be kind of televised, doesn't he? It's going to be going out on YouTube across the world. He's not going to be welcome in Germany anymore. Some German beers are quite good. I don't think I know enough German beers to know whether they're generally better or worse than British beers. I'm not sure about that one. Well, he thinks they are. That's good enough for me.
Nobody sees that.
The video that we're looking at is by a channel called Your True Brit. Their link is in description as always.
So, this is the video you guys all been waiting for. What do the Germans think of the Brits? I'm excited to find out. As you can see, I'm in Ulm. Yes, this is in the south, and it is a very small city, similar size to St. Albans. So this is a fair video. So let's go find out what the Germans have to say about us Brits. I think we're going to get stereotyped. But tut mir leid für meine Haare. Ja, scheiße. Ich muss Brüste finden. Yeah. What do you guys think of the British?
Well, first of all, I don't think that there's a big difference.
Right.
I think they're nice people.
Yeah.
But they do pronounce stuff a bit weirdly. Yeah. I have to say that, like the classic what.
A German saying that we pronounce stuff weirdly. Have you seen the German language? There's some pretty big words. It's like Welsh. It's a difficult language. But we do pronounce some stuff pretty weird.
Yeah, we gotta say that. That's a bit weird.
Well, I like their
Yeah,
weirdness.
Yeah.
They have no
Well, so far we've got that we pronounce stuff weird and that we're weird. I'm seeing a bit of a thing going on here.
problem doing fancy dress on occasions where you wouldn't do it. That's something you wouldn't see in Germany, and I really like that.
Yeah.
The madness.
The madness of the Brits.
Yeah, if somebody said that, oh, we're going to have a party, actually let's make it a fancy dress party. People in the UK wouldn't think twice about that, they'll just do it. Why not? An extra layer of fun to it.
I love the city of London, and the British football fans are. I don't like that.
Yeah, British football fans do have a pretty bad reputation, and a lot of Britain's been kind of stereotyped by a certain group of not very good people within the football fan groups. Not all football fans are like that, but because there were some pretty bad ones during one or two of the more famous matches, then it means that kind of got picked up and stereotyped very quickly, and things stick a lot quicker than they get washed away.
I personally love the British people and actually the whole UK, and I went to England twice now and I just love them.
Wow. Similarities to the Brits and Germans.
Yeah, definitely the lack of humor. I'd say, I think they're almost as fun as the Germans are.
I think we have.
Yeah, I think that's true. That is because Britons are kind of renowned for finding things funny, but not overtly showing that they find them funny, and dry humour and stuff like that. And the Germans are very much like that as well. Americans are a lot more overt with things when they're happy or having fun and stuff like that, whereas British are a lot more reserved. And I think that Germans do fit into that quite a lot, actually.
One big similarity, and it's that the Germans and the Brits really value their traditions. So we are very traditional people, and they're not ashamed of it.
Würde ich sagen.
I don't know, that's true. Both the British and German people, we are proud of our heritage and traditions and stuff like that. But at the same time, in the UK at least, it's very difficult to be able to fly the British flag without being seen as some type of extremist, a right-wing extremist just because you're flying the British flag. So it is true, people are like that in Britain, but because of the way that politics are nowadays, it makes it very difficult for people to overtly express that they're proud to be British or proud of their country when living in the UK, which is that's just terrible that we're in that sort of situation. But it's unfortunately quite true.
Also okay, ich weiß. Okay, Fröhlichkeit.
Yeah.
Dann, dass sie wahnsinnig gut kochen können.
Is there anything in England that you think, whoa, that was a bit strange maybe, or...
Maybe the food.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've seen a recipe of like steak with like a mint sauce, which I think is just odd.
Yeah, I wouldn't put mint sauce with steak. I'd put mint sauce with lamb. I'd put horseradish sauce, which is like a spicy type sauce. You could put that with steak or with beef. You'll have horseradish with beef. But we do have some weird food concoctions. Not that the actual food concoctions themselves are weird, but the names that we give them, such as Yorkshire pudding, which really is like a pancake batter made into an oval cup, but then you'll have it with your Sunday dinner because it's not quite as sweet as an actual kind of pudding or pancakes. And we call pies when they're not. You put some fish and fish sauce in a tray for the oven, and then you add some mashed potato to the top, and then perhaps a little bit of cheese, and we would call that a fish pie, whereas it doesn't contain any pastry whatsoever. So we've got quite a few things like that, and also we eat meat pies. I know that in the US that's a pretty extreme thing. In Germany, I'm not sure. Meat pies, do you eat meat pies and stuff like that in Germany? I would think you do. I would think that German food's pretty much the same as British food, except a few more sausages.
I always get a lot of smack if I'm not saying please or thank you.
Really?
Yeah, they just immediately call me out for it.
Yeah, we do try to instill as much kind of politeness as possible. But again, we're in a very changing society. It's not something which is prioritised now as what it perhaps was.
Yeah, I want to apologise on behalf of England for our Spanish holidays. We're terrible.
Hey, now come on, everybody knows that the Germans are going to go and put their towels on the sunbeds to reserve them before the British have even woken up. Everybody knows they're going to do it. Except the Germans. The Germans don't realise that they do it or that they've got a reputation for it. But when the Brits go abroad to, I don't know, say a Spanish holiday or something like that, all of the hotels, they put their sunbeds out first thing in the morning, 7 a.m. or something like that. And if you want to reserve one, then you just put your towel on it, and that way you can kind of come and go. Nobody else is going to start using that sunbed because people want to try and get like the best spot around the pool and stuff like that. Germans are renowned, in the UK at least, Germans are renowned to quickly go down, being first in the queue and get their towels on all of the best sunbeds before anybody's even woken up. So Germans kind of have that stereotype. So for us to have another stereotype, but a German version against the UK, then that's quite funny.
I don't know why we're so bad when we go to Spain. I'm the good one in England. So.
Yeah, I think that they're referring to teen drinking. In the UK and in Spain and stuff, you can drink when you're 18. And you suddenly go to somewhere where you're buy one, get 10 free type drinks, then you're going to do exactly that. And it's not going to end well. It doesn't give the best reputation, and 18 to 20 type holidays, they're pretty popular. I know they're called 18 to 30, but by the time you're 20, you've drunk that much that you don't do it again.
He's thinking about coming over. He's like, nah. What do you think of the Brits?
I heard that they drink warm water for...
Warm water? Oh, that's actually true, yeah.
Wir waren wohl mal im Krieg zusammen gegeneinander, aber das war ja im letzten Jahrhundert. Also das spielt für mich überhaupt keine Rolle. Und ich war jetzt vor 2 Jahren oder vor 3 Jahren, kurz vor Corona, war ich in London und ich muss sagen, es ist eine richtig tolle Stadt. Also würde ich gerne öfters hinfahren. Alleine diese tollen neuen Gebäude und so, echt super.
We have sausage rolls.
Yeah, you get a lot of people come to the UK and they visit London because that's the place that they hear about. And as it may come as no surprise, London isn't really that representative of Britain overall. In fact, most people in the UK, unless you have to go to London or unless you live in London, don't go to London. because London's almost like a separate entity of its own. It's pretty much twice the price as everywhere else in the UK. The anti-car kind of theme throughout London's really, really heavy. You have to pay a lot of extras. You're really pushed towards using public transport. And also it's kind of directed around tourism rather than actual English, British type things. So if you really want to see anything about the UK, then you just need to go outside of London. It doesn't really matter where outside of London, just anywhere outside of London. And then you're going to get a lot more realistic view of what the UK is actually like. But I would think that's the same for any main country. You know, you go to the capital's not really that representative of what the country itself is actually like.
Sausage rolls? Yeah, of course.
What do you think of a sausage roll?
Well, if it would have been another different sausage, I would have really liked it. But that sausage is just...
It's not German.
Yeah, the sausage meat in sausages is just nasty. I mean, everybody eats sausage rolls in the UK, or most people anyway, as long as you're obviously not vegan or vegetarian or something like that. But if you do eat pastry type foods, then you're probably going to eat it. A sausage roll is basically some type of sausage meat without the sausage skin, just the meat from the middle, surrounded in pastry, and they are quite nice when they're hot. But the meat inside, I don't think it's anything to do with sausages, it's just some kind of mystery meat.
No, well, it tastes like it's not cooked.
Yeah.
It tastes like it's still raw.
Why is that? That's a good point. Yeah, I never actually thought that, yeah. Sausage rolls, it must German sein, Deutsch sein. Yeah. Maybe we should get Greg's in Germany. Yeah. Do you think that'd be a good idea?
Yeah, I'd say so.
They're similar.
They are really, really disgusting, the meat that's inside. Having said that, I could really eat a nice hot sausage roll right now.
Besides drinking beer, none. None.
Yeah, I think the British are so good in drinking beer, and they have a lot of good beer. I think much better than in Germany. I don't. I hope nobody sees it.
The strangest
No, it's saying quickly edit it.
Brits do is that they lie in the sun when on vacation until they're toasted like a lobster.
Yeah, we don't really get that much pure, decent sunshine for sunbathing sunshine in the UK. The kind of sunbathing type part of the year only really lasts for about 6 weeks, which leaves a lot of weeks without proper glorious sunshine. You get bright days, you get sunny days, but where all of the things come together, where it's warm enough and sunny enough, and you've also got a bit of time and stuff like that, when all of those things come together so that it's enough so that you can lounge about in your garden, have a barbecue and sunbathe, we just don't really get very much of that, especially compared to, say, South Spain or the Canary Islands, most of the US in that southern sort of area and stuff like that. We just don't get it. So when we do go abroad, then it is nice just to be able to relax in the sunshine. I think that people generally kind of want to get tanned as much as they can, as quickly as they can, because they know that they're in limited time. They've only got a week or 2 weeks or however long their holidays for. And so they want to make the most of every single minute of it, and how brown you are at the end of it. I think that's kind of almost synonymous with how nice a holiday you've had to some extent, because if you come back nice and tanned and nice and healthy looking, then people seem to think that you've had a better time. And I think that you feel a bit healthier when you've got a bit of a tan versus a milk bottle white look on your face when you glare at yourself first thing in the morning in the mirror.
When I think about British people, I really think about polite people. Who can be strict if you don't follow the rules. They got in Britain. But very polite people. It's the same as in Germany.
100%.
I think that that's kind of true, actually. I think that we're very laid back and we're quite relaxed towards a lot of different ideas, laws and rules and stuff like that. I don't just mean legal laws, I mean as in, societal laws. If you're queuing up somewhere and somebody jumps in front of the queue, everybody's going to be really unhappy with them and somebody will probably moan at them for it. But if somebody decides to walk down the street, I don't know, wearing a banana outfit, or if somebody turned up to a birthday party and they decided to paint themselves completely orange for no reason at all, even though that wouldn't be kind of normal general society type stuff, we would just find that really, really funny. We wouldn't think anything of it. It would just be a funny thing. So I guess we're kind of strict and not strict at the same time with how we see things and view things. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but I think that we're rigid. We want things to happen in a like the Germans, in an efficient sort of way. If we queue up, we don't want people jumping to the front of the queue because that's impolite. And if somebody drops something, you pick it up for them, you expect them to say thank you. If you're walking through a door and there's somebody behind you, you're expected to hold it open for them because it's just general politeness and decency. But if somebody wants to do something really weird and off the cuff, no one's going to care. It's just going to be seen as funny, within reason. So I guess we're kind of a little bit fluid.
Ich glaube, dass wir sind viele, wie sagt man auf das? Similar, was?
Ja, ähnlich.
Ähnlich. Wir sind viele ähnlich zu den deutschen Leuten, ich glaube das.
Du bist genauso blond wie ich.
Ja, meine blonde Haare. I mean, you might be able to help me with this. So I tried making Knödel, but do I eat this skin with the Knödel? Like, it's like this wrapper on it.
Skin?
Yeah, like there was this wrapper, and I thought, well, we're supposed to eat it. Am I supposed to eat? Because I just ate the whole thing. Like,
I don't think that's like eating a Big Mac with the wrapper.
Do you think we should have a Greggs here in Germany?
Hell no. Like, no shit about the sausage roll, but German bakeries are just better.
But
Deal with it.
I personally think us Brits, we could outdrink the Germans. But yeah, he's like, no.
We need to try it.
We need to test it. We need to test this.
Well, when I think of the UK, I mostly think about like roadmen, like stuff like that. So
that's true as well.
Not really like polite.
Yeah.
So.
Where have you heard of the roadmen? You're the first. Yeah, that's real. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think about it.
I think the British humor has its a big advantage over the German one. For I really like the black humor.
Yeah.
And it's coming like delivered dry to your doorstep. Really like that.
What I've seen in England was that
I thought that German humour was very much the same as the UK. I thought that dry humour was kind of a thing in Germany as well, but apparently not so much. I know that they go for slightly different TV programmes. Their TV's kind of a little bit more similar to the US sort of style in that sort of sense, I guess. But generally I thought that humour was about the same. But maybe, I know that British is supposed to be quite unique with the humour and stuff like that, but I thought that perhaps European countries would be a little bit closer to how the UK are, or the UK closer to them, whichever way around you want to see it. Maybe not, maybe we're just weird and unique. Unique in a positive way. Well, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
people are just mixed. So it doesn't. So you just look at this group and you see all kinds of people there.
For sure.
Like when I see British clips on TikTok or something, and they're British. I mean, you hear it. You can hear it. These are the one I like the most.
Yeah.
So I think we can agree on that.
I 100%. And I think, how do you say British? How do you say it in normal English? British. British. Yeah.
Dry humor. It's really amazing. Like shows like The Office. The original was British, and I've been trying to watch it for ages now, and it's really been on my list now.
Very polite manners, because they have manners, which is something many Germans lack, because there's many people just behaving rude.
Yeah.
And that's something I don't think you see that often in Great Britain.
No, I think that a lot of people in the UK are more rude now than what they used to be. The younger generations, I don't want to make myself sound old with that, but I think that that's just how it is. The younger population, people that are kind of leaving school now, I don't know whether they're just exposed to a lot more TV from other countries, and so they think that they should behave in a different sort of way to how is expected within the UK. Just the level of respect, the level of politeness is a lot less now in the younger population than what it's ever been in the UK before, and what it is in kind of most of the generations in the UK.
I personally think the food and the humour.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And do you understand the British humour? Like,
yes, I do. I went to British kindergarten, and I think people might mistake me often as a British person due to my English accent.
You do have one. It's caught me off guard.
Thank you.
Yeah. To the British people, do you think he's British? So, massive thank you to everyone that took part in this episode. I have a question for the Germans and the Brits. What do you guys think that we do strange or the Germans do strange?
Okay, I think he's pretty much at the end of his video. I don't think we came off too bad from that. I think most of it was kind of positive. I think that one of the things that I do think about with Germany is kind of the lederhosen and the dancing in the street with the lederhosen and the bells and all the rest of it that they're doing. A little bit like the old British march dancing, I guess. That's not something that's really done or recognised in the UK anymore. Whereas I think that that's still more of a popular thing in the different parts of Germany. So that's probably a little bit different. But otherwise, I think that Germany and the UK, we're pretty similar. I don't think we're that different. It seems that British humour is just unique across the world. Not just us from the US or us from Australia or something. It's us from everybody, including Europe. I would have thought that we'll be closer to European humour, but obviously not. Is that a good thing? I think it probably is. But that's because I, well, prefer British humour. No surprise there. Okay, is there anything that you came across in this video that you thought was surprising? Is there anything that they've not mentioned that you think should be in this video? Stereotypes that Germans or people from that sort of region of the world at least have about British. What about the other countries in Europe? And if you're in the US or in Australia, there's plenty of other countries around the world watching these videos. What's your interpretation of the British? How do you kind of view us? What do you think we're like? What's your stereotype of the British public? Okay, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, then click thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, then do. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.